It may seem far-fetched, but with the right system, you can find literally hundreds of potential customers in just 48 hours. In fact, I've done this over and over again, and the best part, you don't need to spend months on end setting this up, and you don't need to have spent thousands on marketing, and best of all, you don't need to just try and figure it out, because I'm going to show you exactly how to do it right here in this video. But first, if you're new here, I'm John, husband, father, and founder of AdClients.com. And over the past 10 years, I've generated over $30 million in online sales. And I've done that without having to sacrifice my personal life, hustle 24/7, or stop doing the things that I enjoy. And now, right here on the channel, I help other people do the same. So what we're gonna go through today is a section, or in fact, multiple sections of our wider blueprint. It's what we teach our clients to do. This is our entire 5-step model for launching and scaling an online business. There's loads in here, far more than we could fit into one video, but I'm going to go ahead and break down 2 of these. We're going to talk about step 3, the marketing, and step 4, the sales. And if you get these 2 things right, you will have an unlimited ability to find and convert new customers for your business. We're also going to touch a little bit on step 2 that fuels that whole thing and makes it happen. This is my free gift to you, by the way. If you want this resource, just click the link that's somewhere around this video or in the description box. Tell me where to send it, and you can get this with an explainer video as well that breaks it all down. But for now, we're going to focus on a couple of sections. So regardless of what business you have, what industry you're in, and what products you sell, you've probably heard about a sales funnel. And a sales funnel is a process that you will take potential customers through that will have them converting into customers out the other end. Now, the way in which you set this up and the way in which you think about this makes all the difference. What we're not going to talk about today is a specific type of sales funnel that you should use. We're going to talk about the strategy as a whole, because if you have the wrong understanding of what a sales funnel is and how it should be used properly, then it will not work for you. And it won't matter what type of sales funnel you use, it still won't work. You have to understand the core fundamentals that make this model work, that make the machine work, and then you can essentially print money for your business. So this is make or break, so we need to talk about it. There's a few different sections to this process. The top 2 are to do with marketing, and we've got 2 more, and these are to do with sales. And it's really important that you understand the relationship between marketing and sales. When you're trying to find people online that you can send into the top of your sales funnel, i.e. running online ads, posting content on social media, building an audience, and then channeling them somewhere, the process starts with marketing and then moves to sales. It's like a tag team. If you think about a relay race and you've got multiple people a part of that relay race and they're all playing their bit. The first person takes off, and when they do their bit, they pass the baton off to the next person, and then they carry on the race. Same thing here with marketing and sales. In fact, there's another element of this, which is the traffic. You've got the attention element of drumming up business and getting eyeballs, and then that passes over to your marketing material. And if your marketing material does its job, then that moves to sales, and hopefully you convert them. This is a really important lesson because it happens in that order. You don't really have sales before marketing. It's always marketing channels the opportunity to sales, and the quality of that marketing will alleviate the pressure from your sales and make it easier. Meaning, if you have crappy marketing that is not well thought out, then you're gonna, even if you have sales opportunity, it's going to be really hard to convert those people. Whereas if you have world-class marketing and you're speaking to the right audience in the right way, then you channel them to sales, they're already pre-sold. That's what marketing can do. It can pre-sell people to make the sale that much easier. So what's the first thing that we need to do, and where do most people go wrong? Well, the first step is lead capture. Everything that you are sending, all of the attention that you're sending into this sales funnel must start with lead capture. I just offered you an incredible resource, and it really is. This is amazing, and the accompanying training that goes along with it is fantastic. If you click on that link and you go to access this, it is going to take you to a place where I'm going to ask for your name and email in order to get this. This is a lead capture piece. You're coming into my world, you're coming into my sales funnel, but it starts with value and it starts with gaining you as a lead. You need to be doing this for your business as well. If you move straight to the second step in marketing, which we'll talk about in just a moment, but it didn't start with lead capture, then you've got one opportunity to convert that person from stranger to customer. And if you don't, then they're gone and they're never coming back. So we have to move through lead capture so that we build our email list, we build our audience, then we channel people through to this next step where some of them might continue on the path to becoming a customer, but even if they don't, out the other end of this, we're collecting all these email addresses and we can be sending communications to them over and over and over again. So it doesn't matter what you choose to do next, everything must start with lead capture. And then after you capture someone as a lead, you need to move them immediately to your vehicle, your conversion vehicle. Another mistake people make is, the first one was they don't have lead capture at all. The second one is that they do build a list, but then nothing happens after that. And so you get them on the list, but then you send them to a page that just says, thanks so much for opting in, much appreciated, go and check your email inbox. That is a big mistake. That confirmation page is the only page in your entire business where 100% of your leads will see it. We need to make the most of it. So we need to have a conversion vehicle here. The most perfect conversion vehicle is something that couples value with conversion. Meaning that when a lead comes into your sales process, they don't feel sold immediately. You actually provide value to them that makes them feel like they know you, like you, trust you, and they're receiving something from you. And then the law of reciprocity can start to kick in, where they'll feel the urge to give back to you. And oftentimes that's in the form of becoming a customer or a client. It also leads people to think, if this is the quality of the free information, then the paid information must be incredible. So we need to lead them all the way there immediately. Again, let's use this as an example. When you click the link below and you give me your details to opt in for this, and you now become a lead and you become on my email list, you'll be taken immediately to the next step, which is to watch the webinar training that breaks this down. That is my conversion vehicle. That is intended to provide you more value and build goodwill with you and have you enjoy the stuff that I put out there. But there will be an offer at the end of that webinar to potentially become a customer or a client. That's an example of a conversion vehicle. And while we're on the topic, I said I wasn't going to touch on specific sales funnel types, but I can't help myself. A webinar is the North Star for us at our business, and it is the same for our clients, meaning there are loads of different conversion vehicles you could use. There's VSLs, there's challenges, there's virtual events, there's all sorts of stuff. They can all work in different scenarios. But an automated webinar presentation, nothing seems to beat it. It's absolutely incredible. It gets the balance just right of short and snappy and to the point, but high value and qualifying people through the process so that you speak to great people out the other end, if it's for phone appointments, or you get great customers buying your products immediately out the other end as well. So once you have lead capture and you have a conversion vehicle, I recommend a webinar. Then we move into the territory of sales now, because marketing's done its job and now we need to convert those people. Now there's a couple of different options and you can do both of these off the back of a webinar. The first is one-to-many sales, and the other, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to fit it in, one-to-one sales. This really is down to the price point of the product that you're trying to sell. If you sell anything $1,000 or less, then you're going to focus on one-to-many selling. Meaning that on your webinar, at the end, you're going to have a presentation where you're going to make an offer to buy something immediately, and you're going to generate some customers. You didn't need to do any phone conversations. You didn't have to have any other process other than your conversion vehicle at the end makes a one-to-many presentation where they can go ahead and go directly to a checkout page and buy something. And then there's what I call no man's land, which is between $1,000 and $2,000. If you sell something within that price point, you do just need to decide if you want to move down to lower ticket or move up to higher ticket. But if you're selling something for $2,000 or more, then that's one-to-many selling. So at the end of your conversion vehicle, you're going to mention the opportunity to book a call with you, and you're going to then speak to those people on the phone, and some of them, they might become clients. And top tip for you, if you want a business that can scale and grow, then ideally you would have one of each of these. That's where you'd have mastery in your business. If you are specifically in the education space, meaning you sell trainings or courses or your expertise in some way, or coaching or consulting or agency services, whatever the case may be. The dream scenario is that you have a one-to-many offer that doesn't require you to be on the phone, and then you have a one-to-one offer where you can sell to people over the phone but sell them a high ticket offer. If you have both of these, now you're satisfying different types of buyers. Some people want the cheaper stuff, but they just want to be able to buy without a sales call. Other people need to have that phone conversation and want to spend more with you. Now you're covering both bases. What I want to share with you right now are the magic metrics. I want to share with you the numbers that you need to achieve throughout here, and if you achieve them, they're pretty much bulletproof, meaning you can scale infinitely. You can send as much traffic into the top as possible, and it's almost impossible to not be profitable and have an exciting business that can scale. Now, of course, if we were working one-to-one together, then I would figure these numbers out exactly for your business, your price point, your industry, that type of thing. But this is pretty reliable. If you want something to shoot for, this is it. So the first thing is, we want at least 20% of the traffic that we're sending to our lead capture page to opt in. Now we can get way more than that, right? We're often up at 50, 60, 70, sometimes 80% opt-in rates. And so that's great. We celebrate that, we high five. I'm giving you the baseline. If you are below 20%, something's really wrong and it needs to be fixed. But also at 20%, you can make the numbers work and you can still have an exciting, effective and profitable business. So 20% of the people you send to this page opt in and become leads. Again, an example would be if 100 of you watching this video click the link below and request this, I need 20 of you out of the 100 to opt in for us to have hit this benchmark. I imagine more than 20% will, because this is a really fantastic resource. The second thing is, of the people that became leads, how many of them consumed the conversion vehicle? How many of them actually went through it? Well, if you choose something like a webinar, it's quite easy to work out because we can look at the attendance rates. X number of people became a lead, and then X number of those people watched the presentation. Well, we're shooting for about 60%. So if I get 100 leads coming through, I want 60 of them to have actually continued to move on to the webinar and actually attend and watch the content. Now, if we're doing a one-to-many presentation, we're really shooting for a 10% conversion rate. However, you can get by with 5%. So again, 100 people attend your webinar, your conversion vehicle. 5 of those people take the action to buy something right there on that webinar. Maybe it's $500, maybe it's $1,000. That's a decent conversion percentage, especially if it's cold traffic. But what we want to do is tweak that and optimize and get it up to 10% and more. But again, I'm giving you the benchmarks for what you need to know to have a business that can work and work quite well. Now, imagine we're bypassing that and we're going straight from attendance to one-to-one calls. Well, what percentage of people that attended your vehicle are booking a call with you out the other end? Well, what we're shooting for is 10% of people booking a call. So again, 100 people attend your webinar. We want 10 of them to book a conversation with you and maybe become a high ticket client. And the final metric is that if we have 10% of people booking calls, what percentage do we need of those phone conversations to become a client? Well, of course, again, this heavily varies depending on how much your program costs, and there's a bunch of different variables, but a safe working assumption is 25%. If 25% of the people that you're speaking to are becoming clients, you have a well-oiled machine and you have a fantastic business. And if you have this in place, and if you are hitting these numbers, then you can use step 2 to flood this funnel with as much traffic as possible. There are 3 things we talk about on here: buy it, build it, borrow it. You can buy traffic and load it up into the machine, and if you're hitting these numbers, you should be profitable on paid ads. You can build it, you can do what I'm doing right now, and you can post content on social media to provide goodwill and share value, and some people will want to move forward to the next step. Or you can borrow it. You can go out there and find other people that have the audience that you want, the audience that want to buy your stuff, and you get in front of other people's audiences on podcasts, at events, on other stages, and you channel that traffic and that attention into your sales funnel. And you can scale this model to the moon. I have done this over and over and over again for so many different businesses, and we've had scenarios where we're generating hundreds of customers within a 24 to 48 hour period because we're using buy it traffic, and all we need to do is make sure we're profitable. Because if we're profitable, we're taking all the sales that are coming out the other end every hour, and we're just loading that back up to buy more ads, to send more traffic through, and it's this perpetual cycle of scale, and we're pocketing the profit at the same time. It's an amazing model, and I hope this has been helpful. And if it was, don't forget to hit the link below and get your copy of the full framework, which comes along with that accompanying training that will break it all down for you. Thanks for checking out this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give me a like on this video. It really helps, and I'll see you in a future video.